Love it or hate it, crypto is absolutely everywhere right now, from headlines to even your social media feed. But here's the real question: what exactly is crypto? Stick around to get a crystal clear understanding of what crypto is, how it works, and why it's shaping the future of money. By the end of this video, not only will you know how crypto works, but you might even change the way that you view money. Now, you've probably heard the term crypto tossed around a lot lately, from skyrocketing price charts that make investors millionaires to the plummeting ones that make a lot of people wonder if they've just lost everything that they own. There's no denying that cryptocurrency is taking over, but for most people, crypto is a mystery. They don't exactly know what it is, and it can be confusing. Is it a new form of money? Or is it a bubble? Or maybe it's something that'll reshape finances forever? Stick with me and I'll break it down. So what is crypto? Cryptocurrency is a virtual or digital currency that uses cryptography in order to ensure its security. Now, what is cryptography? Cryptography is the science of protecting information through advanced mathematical techniques. It's like a digital lock that secures every crypto transaction. Without cryptography, transactions wouldn't be secure. They could be tampered with, or even worse, stolen. Not only is cryptography used to secure transactions, but it's also used to validate them, meaning that you can't double spend your money. That's why we can trust crypto as a secure foundation. Unlike traditional currencies like the US dollar or the euro that are built off of governments and central banks, cryptocurrency is primarily based on decentralization. Think of a bank. Banks are centralized, meaning that there is one person or a group of people that have access to everything. They can move money in and out of your account, and we have to just trust that they're doing the right thing. See, in the world of crypto, all the power is distributed across the network. The network is a vast number of computers called nodes. This means that not one person can manipulate the system, and if someone gets something wrong, the system will reject it since there's a series of people called validators. Decentralization also means that not one person can shut down the network because one person isn't in charge of the network. These networks are powered by a blockchain technology, meaning that it's super safe and secure. Now, what is the blockchain? The blockchain is a network. It's not Bitcoin, it's not Ethereum, but it's what they're built on. The blockchain is a digital ledger, meaning that you can see everyone's transactions. It's very transparent and it's secure. Every single time a transaction happens, it gets written in a block. Then this block gets put into a chain with hundreds or thousands of computers verifying its validity, which means that it's super secure and safe. Now that you have a better idea of exactly what crypto is and how it works, let's dive into some of the big players like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP. I'm going to explain what each crypto is, how it gets its value, how it's used, and then a brief summary. So first, Bitcoin. What is Bitcoin? Bitcoin is the world's first decentralized virtual currency. This currency enables peer-to-peer transactions that are borderless without the need for a middleman. It also is built on that blockchain technology that we just talked about. But an interesting thing is that there's only 21 million Bitcoin and there will never be any more. Currently, 19.5 million Bitcoin have been mined and are currently circulating, meaning that it's a very interesting currency to have in our financial system right now. So how is Bitcoin used? Bitcoin can be used for payments, like buying goods or services, for investments, because many consider Bitcoin to be a store of value, kind of like gold. It can be used for remittances, so you can send Bitcoin to anyone, anywhere, faster and cheaper than traditional methods, and also as a store of value. Some people buy Bitcoin and hold it as a hedge against inflation. You may be looking at me and thinking, yeah, that's all cool, but how exactly does a digital currency get its value? Well, first things first, Bitcoin is deflationary. Kind of like how gold and silver. There's only a certain amount of gold and silver in the world, and you can't just make more of it. Meaning that as time goes on, the scarcity will increase. Like I mentioned earlier, there's only 21 million Bitcoin that will ever circulate, meaning that when all 21 million get mined, the value is most likely going to go up. The US dollar, on the other hand, is printed and gets minted every single year. I don't know if you know, but last year we had a big problem with inflation. Bitcoin would be a good hedge against that. Bitcoin also gets its value from its demand. You see, there is a demand for borderless and secure payments. You may or may not know this, but it is very expensive and timely to send money from country to country. Certain countries have really horrible exchange rates, meaning that they lose a lot of money in that conversion process. You are able to transact Bitcoin anywhere in the world at much faster and cheaper rates than your traditional financial institutions. This makes it very appealing and demanding to use a currency like Bitcoin. Another reason why Bitcoin has value is that there's this thing called mining. Ruben, how can you mine a digital currency? Well, you see, every single time that there is a transaction on the blockchain, it gets written on a block. That block then gets put on a chain, and somebody has to validate to make sure that that block is correct. Now, each block on the blockchain has a very complex puzzle that needs to be solved. That's why there's miners or validators that have very high-tech computers that are trying to solve this algorithm. Every single time an algorithm is solved, that person receives 6.25 Bitcoin, which is a lot of money. This is why there's a lot of competition in mining and people use very, very large computer systems. But also something interesting, every 4 years, Bitcoin's reward for validating gets halved, meaning that as time goes on, the reward for validating gets lower and lower, making it more scarce and thus more valuable. So to summarize, Bitcoin gets its value from its scarcity, security, and its ability to transact without the need for traditional financial institutions. As the demand for borderless and decentralized currency increases, so will the value of Bitcoin. More and more institutions are adopting Bitcoin as a form of payment, meaning that it'll be more and more widely trusted and accepted. Now, on to Ethereum. Ethereum is a decentralized, programmable blockchain that enables developers to build decentralized applications and deploy smart contracts. Unlike Bitcoin, which is mostly used for its currency aspects, Ethereum is used for the base that it's built on. Now, what is a smart contract? A smart contract is a self-executing digital contract where the terms of the agreement are written into code and automatically enforced. So let me give you an example of how this works. Say there's two people, and Joe wants to buy an apple from Bob. Instead of trusting Bob to send the apple after payment, they can use a smart contract. Joe sends 1 Ethereum to the smart contract. The contract checks that Joe has sent the correct amount. The contract automatically releases the 1 ETH to Bob once Joe confirms receiving the apple. If the apple isn't delivered, the contract will cancel the transaction and return the ETH to Joe. If the apple is delivered, then the contract is successful and gets written. So what gives Ethereum its value if it's not a currency? Ethereum's blockchain is used by a lot of developers to create dApps, or decentralized apps. Another reason why Ethereum gets its value is that it doesn't work like a proof of work method like Bitcoin. It uses what we call proof of stake. Like I mentioned before, proof of work takes a lot of high-end computers, meaning a lot of energy consumption. Proof of stake is much more efficient. In a proof of stake system, validators are selected by how much Ethereum they have staked. You can stake Ethereum as collateral. The more ETH you have staked, the higher the chances of being chosen as a validator are. Every single time you get chosen as a validator, you get a chance to solve the algorithm, which then you get rewarded Ethereum for doing so. If they don't validate it correctly, they risk losing their stake that they had. This promotes energy efficiency, and it also rewards validators for being trustworthy. Now, every single time a transaction happens on the Ethereum network, there's a thing called gas fees. On the Ethereum network, every transaction has a gas fee, which is like a transaction fee. Gas fees incentivize validators to do their work quickly. The more complex the transaction, the higher the gas fee. Ethereum's monetary policy is somewhat deflationary. Every single time a validation happens, the person gets newly minted Ethereum as a reward. But every single time a gas fee happens, that gas fee is burnt into oblivion. Now, another reason why Ethereum has a lot of value is due to its institutional adoption. Ethereum's not just popular in the crypto bro network, but also with institutions like Microsoft, JP Morgan, and even Visa. They use Ethereum and their smart block technology to help build its apps on it. To summarize, Ethereum doesn't get its value from its currency aspect, but more so the utility aspect of the smart contract system. Now, last but not least, XRP. Now, what is XRP? XRP is a token or a crypto created by the Ripple Labs company. The primary goal of XRP, like Bitcoin, is to make cross-border payments super fast and super cheap. XRP is one of the few cryptos that actually have real-life use cases in the financial and banking system. So how does XRP get its value? XRP's value lies in how fast it sends cross-border transactions. Unlike Bitcoin and Ethereum, there's no mining, proof of stake, or proof of work network. Instead, there's pre-selected validators that are in charge of validating each transaction. So what makes XRP so special if it's so similar to Bitcoin? Well, you see, Bitcoin does offer fast and cheaper solutions than a traditional bank, but it still can take up to 10 minutes to process a transaction, and it has somewhat of a fee. Now, XRP can transact between 3 to 5 seconds and charges less than a fraction of a penny to do so. XRP, like Bitcoin, has a fixed supply. There's 100 billion XRP in circulation as of right now. In summary, XRP is mostly used for its fast and super cheap transactions. As of right now, there's a lot of talk on if banks are going to adopt XRP for their currency transactions. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens. Now that you have a better idea of what Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP are, use that to your advantage to stay ahead of the curve. If you found this video helpful or you enjoyed it, please leave a like down below. Also, please subscribe for any future crypto breakdowns or financial insights. If you have any questions or just want to dive deeper into any of these topics, please leave a comment down below or DM me on Instagram at Rubenuzun. Well, thank you for watching. I'll catch you in the next video. Until then, keep investing, keep learning, and take control of your financial future.